The Onam clash between ARM and Kishkinda Kandam reminded me of the previous year's Onam releases as well. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now and remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today is a very special video. It's not a review video, it's a discussion video on the new Onam releases that transpired last week. And as the dust settles and we are 1 week into the new releases that are there, in which the big battle between ARM and Kishkinda Kandam has been settled. Now, there was also a third release, by the way, of in the form of Kodal, but I'm not including that in the spring of things here because I haven't watched it. So it will be very unfair for me to comment on a film that I haven't watched, irrespective of how it has fared at the box office. So coming to the specific clash between ARM and Kishkinda Kandam, the two Onam releases that are there, it reminded me of the Onam releases from last year as well. If you remember, it was King of Kotha, versus RDX. Now, let's get to the pre-release that was there. King of Kotha King of Kotha had all the hype around it, and RDX, not many were giving, a fighting chance as well. People who already started to troll it. Something similar happened here as well. With ARM, there was a lot of buzz. It was a big budgeted Malayalam film, you can say. Yes, it was just 30 crore in when you look at the overall scheme of things, but from the Malayalam standpoint, it was still a big budget film given that they have constrained budgets that were there. It was a period drama in many ways. It was tackling a very different subject. It had an informed Tovino Thomas that was there, and a lot was going for the film even pre-release, which brought me to Kishkinda Kandam. Kishkinda Kandam, wasn't even supposed to release on Onam year. It was only the producers who took the leap of faith saying, okay, let's release the film. And to be honest, I hadn't even heard of the film, leading up to its release. The only film that I had heard out of is ARM, that is there, the Tovino Thomas film. And I was looking forward to that Onam release that was there, which was also relatively easier for me to watch because it was easily accessible to me in a theater near me. Whereas Kishkinda Kandam had a very limited release here in Mumbai that is there, and I hadn't even heard of it. And because the word of mouth was kicking in, and we all were getting recommendations as to how good the film is, which it eventually was. I happened to travel a long mile to watch the film. But coming to the film's quality that is there, now we'll break it up into what went right, what went wrong between the two films. Again, this is a spoiler-free review, that is not a review but a spoiler-free discussion that is there. So I would want to get into Kishkinda Kandam one more time when it comes in OTT, and I will be giving a spoiler review there. You've already discussed it on Keshav's channel. You can watch that as well, but I will get into it on my channel separately after watching it again. But as far as ARM is concerned, one of the reasons, this film was a good film at the end of the day. It was not a bad film. And in any other industry, this would have been a hit. It would have been a hit in every form of the word. If it was the Telugu film industry, it would have been promoted as a pan-India film and eventually got eyeballs. It was a good film at the end of the day, but it just fell a little short, just like King of Kotha, which wasn't a great film, by the way, King of Kotha, but the level of fighting that was there between the two films was almost similar between King of Kotha and RDX and ARM and Kishkinda Kandam. Both of them, have similar kind of fights that were there, one being the underdog, one being a lesser film. In this case, the lesser film was also the good film, ARM, which was there. And there was a clear, barter that was on whether to, finish the film in the first series of the structure that was there, or to have a build up and have a part 2, like in KGF 2 or Salar that is there. It was only build up in those films, remember, and which included the introduction of characters, and it allowed you to get a little deeper in it, but with very little payoff, if you remember, at the end. Not in KGF, but definitely in Salar. So ARM here, there would have been a creative decision here, definitely, to to push its case and say, let's have a origin story at least, and let's complete the story here, and in the barter, we can reduce the characterization to an extent, as a result of which turned out to be that the characterization of only Tovino Thomas in each of the three eras was the best character out of all the characters that were there, and every other character got a rough deal here. So the characterization was just not there. As far as the topic of the film is concerned, it was definitely a visual spectacle that was there, by also highlighting certain traits like casteism that is there. That was the only issue that was tackled, but it was still at the surface. It did not reveal any magic powers or anything of the lamp that is there, which was in question. And I felt that they could have, actually pushed its case by going a little deeper in that. And with the origin story, they could have actually come up with something that was more, inspiring, or more watch-worthy. This is not to say it's a bad watch at all. I still rated it well on my channel and on my site that is there. But these were when it comes to the Malayalam industry, that the bars are very high. So if this had been any other industry, without naming anybody, this would have been an excellent film. Because it was a Malayalam film, it got a little a notch or two lowered, as far as the quality expectations versus the realities, let's put it that way, that is there. So ARM, I think, faltered in that department, although it featured a splendid Tovino Thomas, who hit some of his flaws and made it into such an engrossing watch. The concept in itself was such a great watch that was there, and it traveled well, the transitions, the themes, everything was well controlled by debutant director Jitin Lal that is there. But then it came, unfortunately, in against an opposition that wasn't even an opposition to begin with. Kishkinda Kandam, I can bet, that nobody would have actually thought that this would have actually overpowered the David here, the overpowered the bigger monster, so to say, which actually it did happen, in terms of its ROI. Maybe not in terms of its collections, but in terms of its ROI, definitely there are shows being added, is what I've heard from folks from the state, and it's still running to full houses. That is the Kishkinda Kandam. So why did Kishkinda Kandam work in a very big way? Firstly, it was almost a drama that was not pretending to be a mystery or a thriller. It was a regular kind of a drama that was weaving a story about a simple family that is there, and something that had happened with respect to the family. Now I'm keeping it a little vague, so that there would be still a good chunk of people who may not have watched it, so I don't want to spoil this video for them. So Kishkinda Kandam was definitely a story that it had many revelations, so to say, but it was a tight-knit screenplay, so everything that was fed to the viewers actually came true at the end, and the payoff was such that you would not be able to guess it also, because this wasn't a guessing game in the first place. It was a normal written screenplay that had a very big payoff at the end, and when I look back at it, I feel that everything, it connected all the dots that were there, which definitely, when you're setting the expectations a little low for the viewers to begin with, wherein even the central conflict is not defined, to only to have such a huge payoff at the end meant that definitely the audience were going to lap it up. I did also feel that the performances, I think, were also excellent, and I could not nitpick anything in the film that was there. So one of the reasons why this film also worked, where it was undersold and delivered very big time. I think ARM, because of its budget, because of its big budget extravaganza kind of a thing, it was promoted in certain way. Maybe if it not oversold, it was sold at a good you can say a good level, so to say. And because of that, I felt that Kishkinda Kandam definitely scored in a very big way. It wasn't pretending to be a film in any way, a thriller in any way, a mystery in any way. It was just a drama, and the screenplay was written in such a way. It was written in an interesting manner, but written in a manner in which the audience, at least I, wasn't even trying to guess anything. It was almost coaxing me to force into the vision of the director and the writer that is there, and I think that absolutely scored for the film that is there. And when you make a film, and when you have such a huge payoff at the end, there's seldom films that may not work and then are discovered on OTT. Probably Iratta is that one film that comes to mind, the Malayalam film Iratta, which ought to have done great business at the box office, but unfortunately it wasn't, but discovered on OTT. I still feel there's a large chunk of the audience who are going to discover this film on OTT, given how less accessible it is in states outside Kerala, you would say. And because of that, I think Kishkinda Kandam is going to be an even bigger monster. So if at all there's going to be a part 2, it has to be better than this, and that itself is a towering act, which I'm not sure the film had set out to be a monster in the first place. It was set out to be a film, which just was made with a lot of passion that is there. So one of the reasons why it worked was exactly that. It was sold at a lower pace and delivered at a very higher pace, so to say. So that was it then. And I have again not covered the third film that is there because I haven't watched it. I don't know whether I'll watch it or not. The reports aren't great, but let's see when it comes to OTT. Let's see. I don't know. We'll keep it open. But that was it, and that was my breakdown of why ARM and Kishkinda Kandam both did well at the end of the day. I wouldn't deny that, but Kishkinda Kandam was a better film, and it turned out to be probably the best film that I have watched in 2024 across languages. Definitely the best Malayalam film that I've watched this year by a margin, but also the best film that I've watched this year. So that says a lot. That means there wasn't really a competition in the first place. But at the end of the day, as a concluding note, I would like to also say that it is the Malayalam film industry that has delivered 2 hits on one weekend that is there. And that says such a lot about the year that has been for the Malayalam film industry. 2024 has been immaculate, and especially coming off certain bit of controversies, it was important for the industry to bounce back in shape and garner that respect that it had gained all year. Which doesn't mean to say that let's keep the happenings in stay, but it's still made for a lot of interesting watch that is there. So that is it then. That was my video. Let me know what did you make of it, between the ARM and Kishkinda Kandam clash that is there. If you're liking this video, please smash that like button. Comment on what did you make of the film. Why did you enjoy each of the films, or either of the films, or neither of the films, whatever the case is. Also, remember to share this video with your friends and family. Let's grow this Digi family together, and ask them to also subscribe to the channel. I've also written detailed reviews on my site of ARM and Kishkinda Kandam, on my site Popcorn Reviews. The description box will have the links that is there. The description box will also have the links to my social media handles like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site and on my social media handles. Leave a follow there also, and help support a small creator like me, which is trying, to deliver good content. And it's an unfiltered content, as you would see. So I focus only on that, the unfilteredness of our discussions that is there. So let me know what you think. And if there are any recommendations, throw me that as well. I'll get to that. Probably let's try next week if I can. Other than that, I'll see you soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.